We're going to start on slide 2. Recently, a young woman who was born in New York is now speaking out for her culture. She says that she faces a large variety of hatred on a daily basis, and she is very widely criticized by people who have not even met her. They've already made up their minds about what type of person she is just simply based on her culture. You see, Zainab Amir is an American Muslim. We're going to go to slide 3. Her case is not alone. Actually, it's very hard to determine the amount of American Muslims that reside in the United States because the Census Bureau does not record for religious affiliation. However, according to the Embassy of the United States, they estimated anywhere between 2 and 7 million American Muslims residing in America, and that number continues to grow. Actually, one of the largest communities of American Muslims and the largest in the United States is actually right here close to you and I in Dearborn, Michigan. And every year, the Islamic Society of North America holds a conference here close to us in Detroit, Michigan, and that is full of a panel of experts who are the leading influential figures in the Muslim American community. And we're going to go to slide 4. So today I'd like to introduce you to the Muslim American culture and describe one of the symbols that represents them. I'm going to go to slide 5. In that conference was Dr. Suad, who has a PhD in cultural anthropology. And the way that she described the Muslim American culture was, I think, very important. And what she said is there's a lot of subgroups that reside in the Muslim American culture. So you have like this capital C, which defines the Muslim American culture, and it's all these things that are shared. And then you have this lowercase c, which defines the Muslim American culture into a lot of subgroups. So in this lowercase c, you have different things such as race, African Americans, Asian Americans, European Americans, and they all have their own little communities, or they're separated by classes, poor, middle, very wealthy, and they also come from different generations. However, among this diversity that's within the diversity, there's also this capital C element that works to define the culture for everything that they share. And of those things is their prayer, the faith itself, the rituals, and the symbols. And we're going to go to slide 6. Actually, one of the largest symbols that represents the Muslim American culture is the hijab. And what the hijab is, for those of you that don't know, is it's just a scarf that goes around the woman's head. It covers her hair, her neck, her ears, it covers everything and just leaves exposed the face. And so a lot of meaning gets attached to symbols and cultures. And Williams and Bosky actually in 2007 did a large amount of research regarding the meaning that is attached to the hijab. And there's a lot of different meanings that become attached to it. And the non-Muslim people attach assumptions to the hijab that works to separate us in a lot of different ways. And because it's the largest visual symbol, I think it's important to investigate. And two of those things that are assumed by non-Muslim people is that it represents inequality of the genders in the Muslim American culture, as well as its blatant criticism of the dominant American culture that surrounds them. And we're going to go to slide 7. Really, the meaning of the symbols is a crucial point for the people that actually are using them. So I think it's important that we look at the meaning that's attached to the hijab from the culture itself. And Dr. Suad in that conference, she said, quote, "Culture is about meaning making. It is the way human beings make the world make sense." And so I think that that's really important because we need to look at how the Muslim Americans attach meaning to their own cultural expression instead of making assumptions about what they mean by wearing it. And so in that research by William and Bosky, they found that there are several different varieties of meanings attached to wearing the hijab for the Muslim women. And one of the biggest things was the gender difference. And so the way that we see it as inequality, they see it as there are inherent gender differences between men and women in the Muslim culture. However, that does not mean that they are unequal. That simply means that they are different and they recognize those differences. It also has meaning of modesty attached to it. It increases their respect. It shows their group affiliation, and it's actually a form of fashion. So while Muslim American women are creating their identities, they're actually creating an identity that steers toward the Muslim faith as well as the American woman. And so this is how they build their own sense of identity in combining those two elements. And then they also are able to create their own unique person within that Muslim faith that separates them from all other people through their fashion expression and wearing the hijab. And we're going to go to slide 8. And in closing here, I would like to get back to Zainab's story. And I would like to quote to you what she said. Quote, I am not asking for sympathy or pity. I am not asking for a simple hashtag for Muslims' lives matter. I'm asking for more than that. I'm asking for my country to use knowledge and not judge through the eyes of terrorists and ignorance. And we're going to go to slide 9. And I think her statement is really important, that we do need to understand the diversity that surrounds us. And one other expert that was in the conference there in Detroit is Dr. Sherman Jackson, and I think he makes the most crucial statement of all, and he says, quote, we are Muslims, and before we are Muslims, we are human beings. And I would like to take a minute for us to think about that. I think, like the other expert said, there are areas that define the culture with a capital C. So there's also areas that define humanness with a capital C, who we are and what we share, and understanding the diversity that surrounds us. It should all be met with that capital C, and in tolerance and understanding others that are different from us. So I will leave you with thinking about what works in your own categories of the capital C. Thank you.